Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan's checking back in with another video. Let's start today's video off with Samson Dauda, and hopefully this will be the last time we have to discuss what happened between Samson and Milos. But Samson finally put up an appreciation post for his now former coach Milos. So Samson's appreciation post reads, "Now that the dust is finally settling down from the last 2 weeks of a very full-on and roller coaster ride, I can take the time and say thank you to this amazing gentleman for all he has done for me over the last 2.5 years. We have been through the craziest of battles and experience together, and we have both worked so hard and tireless to achieve the goal of becoming one of the best bodybuilders in the world, for which I will be forever grateful to him. Thank you, Milos Sarchev, for all you have done for me and the time we have worked together, and I wish you the very best. Even though we are no longer working together, I will always consider you a friend." A great appreciation post from Samson Dauda. Some people would say it's a little bit late, but better late than never. But just my personal thoughts on this, I thought that Samson leaving Milos was very odd because Milos pretty much helped him transform his entire physique, become one of the best bodybuilders on the planet. They had been working together for almost 3 years and Samson only improved. Despite not having off seasons, despite doing 4 or 5 shows a year sometimes, Samson still made improvements. So I just don't really understand why Samson would stop working with Milos after they've had so much success together. Even if he does consider the Arnold Classic Ohio a loss, imagine how many wins they have together. But I do want to address the last sentence of this. Samson said that they will always be friends, but on a recent podcast Milos did with Dennis James, he said that he has not spoken to Samson since the Arnold Classic Ohio. Samson Dauda sent him one text message and pretty much let him know that they were no longer going to be working together. And also, Samson said his wife prepped him for the Prague show and the Romania show. On that podcast, Milos was under the impression that he was prepping Samson. Milos said when Samson was competing at Prague and Romania, he was staying up at crazy hours throughout the night because Prague and Romania are so far ahead as far as the time difference. And again, he thought that he was prepping Samson, but I guess that he did not peak Samson for those shows. But anyway, if you guys want to know the full detailed breakdown of everything that has gone on with Samson Dauda over the past 2 weeks, go over and subscribe to Ivan Bodybuilding. But in conclusion, from my perspective, it looks like Samson pretty much wants nothing to do with Milos, and we're still not really sure why. He put out an appreciation post. He said that they're friends, but has not spoke to Milos since the Arnold Classic. And apparently, Milos thought he was coaching Samson last year, but his wife was actually prepping him the entire time. But let me know in the comment section below, what do you guys think about all of this? And of course, this changes nothing about Samson's physique. He's still one of the best bodybuilders on the planet, but this is not a good look. Now let's switch over to the man, the myth, the Mona Lisa, Andrew Jacked, who we have not seen on a bodybuilding stage since the 2023 Mr. Olympia, and Andrew is currently the 5th best bodybuilder on the planet. Andrew was supposed to compete in the Arnold Classic, but decided to pull out, said he just had a lot going on. But Andrew said get ready for the next episode. And it's possible that we see Andrew at the Dubai Pro, possible we see him at the Texas Pro, but whenever we see him, I do think we are going to see an improved version of Andrew Jacked because he decided to take a little bit of time off. Andrew turned pro and pretty much did not take a break since, and he's one of the best personalities we have in men's open bodybuilding. But at the Mr. Olympia, I've said it numerous times, Andrew seemed a little bit off. He wasn't laughing as much and not cracking as many jokes. Just seemed like maybe he was a little bit burnt out, but I'm expecting a better Andrew Jacked when he hops back onto that stage. And in the next update of the day, we have a recent update from Rafael Brandão ahead of the Arnold Classic South America. And I've said it before, I think Rafa is a little bit underrated. In Tyler Mannion's opinion, Rafa doesn't have a weak pose, which is something you can say about a lot of bodybuilders. Outside of Andrew Jacked, I would say that Rafa has the most aesthetic physique in men's open bodybuilding, hands down. And working with Neil Hill, I think Rafa is just now hitting his stride. I think he's only going to get better from here, and he's hoping to qualify for the Olympia at the Arnold South America. But Tonio Burton is also hoping to get his qualification at this same Arnold Classic competition. These are the latest updates from him. Antonio really surprised me with the update on the left, and he said Everyone is comparing him to the versions he brought to the stage last year, but he has already surpassed those, and he's going to be bringing something different this year. Tonio versus Nick Walker at the New York Pro is going to be a good matchup, but Tonio versus Rafa, I think is going to be a great matchup. Tonio was 8th place at last year's Olympia, and even though Rafa was not there, I think he would have placed around that 7th, 8th place spot, being compared to Tonio, Crizzo, and Hunter Labrada. But the Arnold South America will be a great show as well. Now let's switch over to the Butcher, Brett Wilkin. Every couple of weeks, Brett has to post up his signature side chest pose. But all jokes aside, Brett is looking pretty good here. He was qualified for the 2023 Mr. Olympia, but Brett had a child, also said his body wasn't really responding, so he decided to pull out. But it looks like Brett is ramping back up, and hopefully we will get to see him compete this year. But I do think it's worth mentioning that Brett did lose some size in his time off, so look for him to compete later this year or possibly next year. Now let's switch over to 212. We have a recent update from our current reigning 212 Olympia champion, Keone Pearson, and Keone is currently 229 pounds for some reason in this update. But Keone is looking incredible, and if you follow this guy on Instagram, the focus is just insane. Keone is already counting down the days, the hours, the minutes, possibly even the seconds until this year's Olympia. And Keone is laser focused on defending the title this year. He isn't thinking about 3 titles, 4 titles. He's just focused on the current goal at hand. And I did want to touch on this video of Arnold training with Heath. This was either before or after the Arnold Classic UK. And getting to meet Arnold is one thing, but getting to train with one of the best bodybuilders, possibly the greatest bodybuilder of all time, that's another thing. But Phil is also possibly the greatest bodybuilder of all time. And I know Arnold has done some things, possibly said some things in the past that rub people the wrong way. But as of recent, what he's been doing for bodybuilding is just incredible. Upping the prize money from $300K to $500K at the Arnold, winning $500,000 at one bodybuilding show is just insane. Plus the free live streams for the UK show and the Ohio show. Arnold just being there, being a part of the competition. I'm pretty sure everyone up there is motivated by him or has looked up to him at one point. But I thought it was pretty cool to see him train with Heath, and you guys should go over to Instagram and listen to the audio. But let's go ahead and wrap up today's video here with the archive of the day. You guys let me know in the comment section below, who is this bodybuilder? And as always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video. And also, I think it's worth mentioning that if this video comes out on March 18th, it is my birthday. So just in case you guys did want to give me a gift, you can just like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. I don't think that's too much. But I'm Krishan from Go Fitness, and that's it. I'm out.